You don't need another strategy. Here's what you actually need to figure out why you can't implement the things that you already know. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, former psychologist, now business coach, and I help women just like us to build profitable private practices, usually in under 12 months. Being neurodivergent means I see the patterns that other coaches miss, but it also means I'm a truth teller, so I'm not interested in giving you any business advice that sounds good or might be trending, but doesn't actually work for us. Welcome to the Practice Momentum podcast, where we're going to get your private practice sorted out. Thanks so much for being here, and let's get on with the next episode. Welcome back to another episode. Hey, guess what? Before we start, I just have to say, I'm feeling like the cat that's got the cream over here because I turned on my computer today to do the podcast and it was all waiting for me, just like how I set it up when I told you in the last episode. And here it is. It's all done. I haven't read through it properly, but I have gone and had a play with something that you'll hear about in a moment. It seems pretty straightforward. I think you're going to like it. I think a lot of you will find this super duper helpful. Without any further ado, we're just going to dive in. And then if you don't want to hear any more, you can click off. But if you do want to hear about something else that I've made, which is super duper exciting, stay and I'll tell you a little bit about that. So of course, welcome back. First of all, I'm going to be sharing with you a super small update that was made on the 24th of March, so not even 2 weeks ago, and it's going to, I guess not streamline, but it's just going to make things work a little bit more smoothly for you if you are using ChatGPT for work stuff. Okay, it's going to fix one of those really sort of small annoying things that has probably happened to you a million times, because it happened to me a million times. But you know, when you first open up a new conversation in Chatty and I don't know, you want to use one of your templates or a session note template or your consent form or whatever it is that you're working on, you know, some kind of resource that you've made for a client, but you have to go and you've got to find the file in your cloud or on your desktop or in your G Drive or something like that. And then you've got to upload it into the chat, wait for Chatty to process it, and then start. And you've got to do that every single time, right? Okay, you're going to be very happy then because you don't have to do that anymore. That's what this little change is all about. ChatGPT now has something called a file library. So if you are on a paid account, so you're on Plus, Pro or Business, it's either already available to you or it's just rolling out very soon. Now, mine has only just become available to me yesterday, and I'm in Australia, in Melbourne. So maybe you had it since the 24th of March. I am on a paid account. I've just got the baby paid account. I think I pay $20 a month or something. I don't really use ChatGPT for much these days, but I still got it there just in case because I've got a whole lot of GPTs that I made, right? I don't want to lose them and I haven't transferred them over to anything else yet. But anywho, I'm pretty sure because it's, I'm going to say low level, meaning, it's probably not something people would really want to pay for, the convenience of having access to. So I would imagine that the file library will probably be rolled out to everybody who's got a free account as well. So just keep your eye on it. But I'm going to tell you what it does, how you can use it as part of your workflow. And of course, I want to talk with you about privacy before you use it, of course. This is probably just going to be a shorter episode, in terms of this thing anyway. As I said, I'll talk with you about something else that I made yesterday for those of you who are interested in hearing about it. We can kick on from there. So what is it? It is like every time you start the new conversation in Chatty and you wanted to use the document, you had to attach it every time, like I just mentioned. You used to have to upload it, wait for it to process, and the file was only there, right, for that conversation. So when you had to start a new chat, start a new conversation, it disappeared. You had to go and start the process all over again, right? So the file library solves that headache. Well, it's not really a headache, is it? It's just more steps. So it reduces the steps. Let's just say that. And now anything that you add to ChatGPT as a file can be automatically saved into a library and the library lives in your left sidebar, right next to the section where it says conversation history. So it just stays there until you delete it, okay? You can search it, you can browse it, you can pull files from it into any new conversation with just one click, right? Super easy. So let's say you're going to upload your document or your template that you're going to be using, and you're just going to upload it one time. It stays in the library, and then next week when you want to go and use it, when you're in the chat, you just click on the attachment button in the chat and you select add from library. It comes up as an option. So just click add from library, choose it, and because you're already in the conversation with document loaded, you don't have to wait. Okay, it's just going to poof, upload for you. So that's a whole feature. Not a big deal. It's not anything like super awesome, but it will save you time. I mean, it certainly will save me time because I often was uploading my PDFs and things like that, and my own templates. So yeah, it's just kind of fixing a little bit of an annoying step. But in private practice, there's like a pretty practical side that some of you might find helpful. So yeah, as I said, it's in the left sidebar. You might be thinking to yourself, well, what am I going to put in it? Well, when you go and click on it, because I reckon you're probably going to have it already if you are on a free account, but when you click on it, what I found was all my stuff was already there. So things I previously uploaded, screenshots I'd uploaded, images I'd uploaded, as well as PDFs and docs and things like that, right? So you'll see them all there. Here's a hot tip. It kind of looks like a mess, not as bad as my Canva dashboard. Looks like a mess, but my ChatGPT file library looks like a mess because not very many of the things I uploaded have, what I would call proper file names, like it says Untitled 1, Untitled 2, Untitled 3. I've got no idea what these things are. I'm going to have to manually click on them all and rename them so I can easily find them. So yeah, there's a heads up. When you're going to be uploading stuff, make sure it's got a decent name. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. So things that you might want to think about putting in your library. You might want to put in documents that you repeatedly reach for, right? So things like templates around referrals, documents, report structures, things that have the blank placeholders, any images you regularly use, like hello logo. You might want to put your logo up in there as well. Your headshot, your membership logo if you're in a membership body, things like that might be super helpful to add into your library. And then anyway, when you want to go and draft a letter, you open up the conversation, click on the attachment, looks like a paperclip, click add to library, and boom, just upload it. All right. You could put things in there like any structures for maybe meeting notes, things like that. So if you have a preferred note format, you could just save a blank version of it. Easy. And then you can just type or paste in your rough session notes, load up the template from the library, and get Chatty to organize the notes into the structure for you to review and edit later, right? If you've got templates that you use for routine correspondence, like with your email or appointment confirmations, reminders, follow-up emails, emails around outstanding invoices, things like that, same thing, all right? Just save the blanks of them there, and then when you go to use the chat, pull them into the chat, and then the ChatGPT will just automatically load everything into it for you. Okay, so yeah, if you're using it for business and it's not your personal account, like I know that sounds silly, doesn't it? Because I do use mine for personal stuff and business. You should probably have two separate accounts, but anywho, just try and have some kind of structure around your folders and where you're keeping everything, so it makes sense for you, but so it also makes sense for the AI and stuff like that. So yeah, in terms of workflow, what does it look like? It's super easy. Again, you're just going to open up the conversation, click the attachment icon, choose add from library, get the template or the doc or the image or whatever it is, and then you're just going to type something into the conversation like, here's the information, for this, please draft a letter using this format in the attached template. You pop your information into it, and then Chatty's going to put the letter, on your template with your letterhead, stuff like that. And then you can download it, edit it, send it, whatever you like to do. But that's it. Pretty super simple, right? But something to know before you start saving things into the ChatGPT, of course, because I know some of you probably rolling your eyes thinking we don't need to talk about it, but we probably do. It's storing anything in the library, actually anything in the whole platform, but in this case, we'll talk about the library, on the OpenAI servers, right? So the moment you upload a document, it's leaving your computer and it's sitting on a third-party platform. So this is true of anything you upload into Chatty. The library just makes the storage persistent rather than temporary. So you don't have to keep going and finding things all the time. But it also means that, of course, you just need to be intentional, mindful, thoughtful about what you're going to put in there. So, of course, things that don't go into it, names, session notes, things with identifying information, clinical assessments, the usual stuff, okay? This isn't just a chat thing, though. This is for, other AI cloud-based platforms too. Always be guided by your code of ethics and things like that. Just a general rule, a general mantra you might want to think is that if you would need to explain to a client that their information was shared with a third-party platform, don't do it in the tool, right? Also, speaking about that, if you are using AI for things in your private practice that could potentially impact a client, maybe go and update two things. Go and update your consent form, or your informed consent, whatever you choose to call it, or your agreement, or your onboarding. Go and get that and get a signature on it. Just update so all new people coming on are consenting and they're saying, oh, I understand this private practice here does use AI for admin and things like that. I appreciate they're doing everything they can to make sure my data is secure and private, but I also absolve them of any, wrongdoings and da should something happen. So you want to get that. And of course, if you haven't already and you're using AI, I think it's just good practice to update your insurance. Go and update your professional indemnity. It doesn't cost you much money. It's like $50 or $100, but it will just give you peace of mind in case something goes wrong, right? Which is what insurance is for, right? We don't plan on anything going wrong, but we want to be covered and we want to do the right thing, protect our business, protect ourselves, protect our clients, right? Protect our profession. So anyway, the other thing too is, AI removes files from their servers within 30 days of you deleting them from your account. So if you, let's say you wanted to delete a bunch of chats, right? Let's say you went and you just went select all and you just deleted every single chat in your whole entire account. Just understand that that all stays kind of in the ether for up to 30 days. So it's all still kind of floating around for 30 days. It's not instant. So just something to know. So if you ever decide to close your account or you're going to, upgrade a subscription, downgrade a subscription, something like that, just remember to make sure that you either download everything first and then delete it, or just delete anything that you've stored, okay, before making those big changes. Cancelling a subscription doesn't remove your files. I'll say it again, cancelling your subscription to AI does not delete your files. You have to do that yourself, and that's a manual thing. Very, very important for you to know, right? Especially too, because so many people are leaving ChatGPT at the moment, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on there, which, let me just finish this, then I'll tell you, because it's interesting. So anyway, that's the file library basically. So I would imagine, as I said, it just came up on my paid account yesterday, but I reckon because it's kind of, as I said, in my mind, it's low level, I don't think anybody would actually pay for it. I don't think it will be considered a paid feature. I would say it's just a matter of time before you've got access in your free account. I think it will be helpful for those of you who do use it for document processing and, templatizing things. I think you're going to find it super duper helpful. And also for organizing all your images and stuff like that. And it will mean that anything that you are creating, you can now download, right? Which you probably do anyway, but you can just upload it again and save it in the library with a good file name so you can find it. Don't do what I did and call everything Untitled 1, 2, 3, 27 million, No. Yeah, so this is going to be super helpful for some of you. I'm sure others of you, it's probably not going to make too much of an impact. But the thing that I find really good about an update like this is that it's showing that AI platforms are paying attention to, I guess, how we're using the AI and the workflow experience. I think for a while there, it happens all the time, right? There's always a model update. And I think that's felt like it's been a big focus. I don't know. I never even used to pay attention to the models. The model is, when you're in the conversation and you can choose whether you're going to use ChatGPT, 2.1, or in Claude it's Haiku or Sonnet or Opus and things like that. I never used to pay too much attention to that because I never knew what they were for or what they did. But the AI platforms are investing a lot in updating and improving their models. That's just what it is. It's just a version and what the version was capable of. But I think by also giving us simple little steps like this, it's showing too that they're recognizing, okay, people are generally moving beyond conversation, going back and forth, and they're now starting to apply it. And that's called workflow, right? The order of tasks that you do to get to an end point. And so I think that that's really encouraging, and it makes a lot of sense as well because of everything that's happening with the pivot that Chatty is making at the moment. If you want to go and learn more on how to set up your AI workflows, you come and meet me in school. I've got a free community there where I teach this, and you can come get some free resources. It's called the Private Practice Resource Hub. Most welcome to come along. I also have a playbook for therapists who are interested in using AI and optimizing it for their marketing. And it will walk you through, workflows and privacy and stuff like that for our industry, which is super duper important. But anywho, that's the file library is what I wanted to share with you today. The other thing is just talking about ChatGPT pivoting. And I think that this is really, really helpful information to know because it's going to show you something that is important for you in your business and your private practice. And it's also happening to me too. So I can't recall, I'm sorry if I did, but I can't recall if I mentioned it in the Wednesday episode about whether or not I'd been scaling back in my business. So just in case I did say it, the thing is, yes, I've been scaling back in my business. I've removed a lot of my offers, and I've tightened up offers, and I've introduced new offers, ways of helping people and stuff like that. It's all feeling really good. But you know what it's like when you pivot, it's not really pivoting. I was decluttering. When you declutter, sometimes you think to yourself, what's everyone going to think, or stuff like this. But because I know the women that I work with value it when I let them know the rationale why I'm doing things, they find it super helpful because also it normalizes it for them when they want to make changes. Maybe they're going to get to a point in their business one day where they want to declutter or maybe even pivot, right? Or try new things. So I do speak about it openly, and that is why. But yeah, my business has just gone a great big declutter. And as you can hear at the moment, the focus is sort of shifting over into AI and what it means for us. I don't know how long I'll be talking about this for. It's just what I'm talking about right now. But anyway, the thing that I found very, very affirming was because ChatGPT is doing the same thing right now. They're stripping back a lot of their services. So they had a platform that I really, really love to use called Sora. It's still available in some areas for another, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, possibly, because it's already shut down. So the decision's been made to shut it down, and now they're just like actually shutting it down. But it was called Sora, and you could go in there and you could generate images, and I loved it because it was really easy to use. The images were high quality. I made logos there, for example. I made all kinds of designs, videos I made in there, just beautiful stuff. The reason that ChatGPT got rid of it, or open source got rid of it, is because it was costing them a lot of money and it wasn't making them a lot of money. So it wouldn't make sense to a shareholder once they take the business to the stock exchange to have it. So they're just trying to get ahead of that. The other thing that they're doing is they've taken the temperature of the market. Oh, well, hang on. It's also interesting because they had signed a big deal with Disney to incorporate what was licensed Disney characters, what were licensed Disney characters, for example, for people to use in their videos and things like that. Billions and billions of dollars they had this deal for. That's gone now. They had also a great big deal with a company in the UK for something about document storage and stuff like that. That's gone now. So that they've given up a lot of opportunities there because they're going through this big pivot. The pivot for them came about for a few reasons. You'll hear, perhaps if you're in the community, that it's, political things and stuff to do with Trump and da-da-da. But it's also because they're shifting towards the IPO and they want to make sure that they're going to get investors. And so one of the drivers is now, from their side anyway, moving away from open source AI, having closed. And what that will mean is that they can now start creating more enterprise focused features and functions for people like us who are in business. So I guess stay tuned, but it's going to be doing some big changes and we don't know what that's going to look like yet. It did used to use Sora for image generation in conversations, but as that's going, I would imagine you won't be able to image generate in chat anymore with that. But yeah, it's so interesting, right? So anyway, I wanted to share that and then just sort of normalize it and say, here's an example over here of a great big company that's stripping back. It's taking away popular offers to come back to basics and rebuild from there based on customer demand and an updated vision and mission of the business. I've just done the same thing. I'm sharing this with you so that if you're ever in a position where you need to do it, you understand this is business, okay? Your business is always going to be changing. Totally okay. Now, I want to talk to you too about something that I created just yesterday, and I was so over the moon about it. I think I've told anyone and everyone who will listen how excited I am, but this is going to sound simple, but it's not. There were a lot of steps. I made a content planner. And it's not like what you get on Etsy. This is an AI content planner. And I'm so excited about it because what it does is it is able to, I guess, grab my information, grab my business brand information, my niche information, my ideal client information, can do all of that. And then I am able to get it to create for me a content map. And then with that content map, it provides a schedule of what to post, how to post it, what type of post, when to schedule it for, all of that kind of stuff. And, once I set it up, I, did a test run, and it took me from beginning to end to get the completed schedule, maybe about half an hour. And that was because I had to be in front of the computer to click on a lot of things, because the way I've set up my AI is I don't give it permission to do a lot, right? I've got mine set up so it has to ask me, can I do this? I'm like, okay. I mean, it ties up my computer for a minute because I can't be doing anything else on the screen while it's working on my computer for me. It's like hands-free, right? I'm hands-free. I can see my mouse clicking around the screen. I can see tabs opening. I can see windows popping up, all of this. And I'm just saying approve, don't approve, 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 don't approve. And I'm completely hands-off other than that. But anyway, took about half an hour. It's done. And then it probably took me, I'm not even joking, I don't know how this happened, right? Because I was fully into it. I wasn't thinking about anything else. I was so focused, but it still took me about 4 hours to go in and schedule everything. But it's done now. The reason that it probably took time was because I had to not muck around, but you know how you got to make your images. I had to make images. And for me, I just get like so fixated on it's got to be the right color, it's got to be the right font. Like, I know I shouldn't. I know like imperfect is better and what's perfect anyway. And it wasn't about it being perfect. It was about, well, yeah, it was, because I needed it to be right. So I wanted it to look right. So anyway, that's where I lost my time, I think, looking for the right color, the right font, the right image, but also because I was refining copy. So just like I say to you, don't just like copy and paste what it gives you. I don't want to get penalized. I want my post to reach more people. So yeah, I took all of the copy and I went and refined it, reworded it, updated it, made it sound even more like me. I did all of that kind of stuff too. And then I had to go and actually post it. And that was probably the fiddly bit, because I had to go in and out of, content planners on Facebook. And it's like I'm in my business page and in the content planner in the business page 1 minute, and then I'm over in the content planner it was, all of that was just a little bit fiddly. I'm just thinking out loud now, I could get a content scheduler to do it, but in order to do that, I would have to do everything I did and just put it in the content scheduler to do it anyway, which kind of feels like double handling. So that's why I didn't. Yeah. And anyway, I figured out that this felt so exciting for me because it's drawing upon my own stuff. So I know that it's going to work. It's not like pulling from the whole entire internet and just giving me generalized stuff. It's pulling from my own stuff. So I know it's going to work. It's giving me updates, which I was surprised about, but make a lot of sense. That was really helpful. I feel confident with it and I'm excited to test it. So it goes for, I think, 30 days. I think I've got, hang on, I can tell you. Let me just see if I can bring it up. I don't have it in front of me. I think I've got about, what is it? Oh no, I can remember. It was 9, 5 and 5. So what's that? 19. As 19 posts. I did 19 posts. Yeah. So I'm excited to see like how they all convert. And I did a little video of this whole process and what I've done because I was so excited about it, and I shared it in the Private Practice Resource Hub. And I wanted to show everybody, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. And when I was recording for them, somebody else was engaging with the post that I just put out. So it was fun. It was like, all the angels were like singing, like, ah, and I was so excited. Yeah, so now I'm just going to test it. And I can't wait to see the results. So I'm also thinking that I'm going to test it with a couple of my clients and just see if it will work for them too. And if it does, then I might see if I can share it with everybody, because I think it's going to really help you with your marketing and it will take a lot of pressure off you, especially if you don't feel confident with your marketing, don't really know like what you're doing and what's going to work and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's that. So that's what I wanted to share about the AI stuff at the moment. And there are so many more things that I want to do. So I've set aside time today to have a bit of a play around with a few other projects that I am in the process of developing, which, yeah, it's just so much fun. Outside of that, though, nothing's really happening apart from, guess what? Can you believe, the house that turned out to be more of a tear down? Can you believe that the real estate agent has gone and relisted it? Unbelievable. And they're saying, oh, this is going to be great for a family to live here. Like, how can you do that? Anyway, so there's that. But otherwise, I'm looking every single day. I'm all over it. And there's nothing yet, but I'll keep you posted. And then I am going away on, end of April. Can't wait. And I've gone and booked some fun activities. And get this, one of my fun activities is the Michael Jackson movie, because hello, it's Michael Jackson. So it comes out on the 22nd of April. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I hope I can get a ticket, And I was waiting. And then I was, allowed to go and buy the ticket because the ticket sales box opened and everything, and boom, I was in. And I think at the time I booked a ticket, there were just 3 of us that have booked, and then I went and checked the reservations like just the other day, and it looks like there's still only 3 people that have booked. And I was saying to one of my friends, oh, I'm so excited because I'm gonna go and see the new Michael Jackson movie, and she goes, oh, yeah. And I said, Michael Jackson. She goes, yeah. Is that a band that you really like? And I was like, no. It's like I never feel old until sometimes things like that happen and young people don't know about Michael Jackson. Anyway, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have a little bit of a break. And I'm also just like super duper pumped about everything that's happening at the moment in private practice. So I hope this was helpful. Go and have a play with File Library if you like in ChatGPT. Hopefully you've got it. If you don't, I would just like keep an eye on it and see whether or not it's something that's going to help you. I think it will if you're somebody who's constantly uploading stuff. If you're not, it's probably not going to be such a big deal. But anyway, that's that. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Private Practice Podcast. So as you reflect on today's insights, imagine creating real success in your private practice without going down rabbit holes or exhausting yourself with business activities that don't move the needle. With Practice Momentum, you have push of a button help available on demand. It's like having an expert in your pocket ready to guide you whenever you need it. Visit brooklynstorme.com to discover how Practice Momentum can transform your approach to building a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the mind, business, and spirit of private practice success.